Oh, hey, welcome to Tuddy Talk. Take a seat. What's that? Oh, Champ Champ. Haven't heard that name in years. Nowadays, it's washed and old. See, I haven't made the playoffs in 2 years. It's a long story, but let's get into it. We're now in the 2023 playoffs, and week 14 was a lot to handle for some people. Unfortunately, I suffered my third loss in a row after saying that I will be going 3-0. It's just not how it happened, unfortunately. Tatani, I give you props. Congratulations. You earned that first seed. Uh, yeah, have fun with your bye. My co host is unfortunately not here to celebrate and revel in his win. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter because, well, he isn't in the playoffs either. Let's see. Going down to Tommy and Eric, though. Those two had a heated battle to get into the playoffs as the sixth seed, and unfortunately, Tommy had to remain out of the playoffs this year. He narrowly missed it. 5 points is all that separated him and the sixth seed, Eric. So, congratulations to Eric. I'm proud of all of you guys who made it in, and it's going to be a fun time. We'll get into all the matchups and everything later. To start out this episode, I want to just say congratulations to everybody, but we also have to say goodbye to some of our teams in this league. It's not how we wanted to go, but it is unfortunately where we're at. So, goodbye to Tommy's team, Young Hoes. Goodbye to Mission Impossible. That's Gifford's team. Goodbye to Scott and the Hub. Goodbye to me, Devin, and Washed and Old. That is my name. Goodbye to Paris and Harris Likes Friends. And finally, goodbye to Brittany, and enjoy your new tattoo. Moving on to something a little bit happier. The competition of week 14 was throwback. We went all the way back to week 1, and Eric, you came the closest to your week 1 projection, narrowly missing it. 1 point is all that separated you and week 1 you. So congratulations, you now won the last 2 competitions in a row, and that gives you $20. So to wrap up all of these little competitions that we do every week, I'm going to go through, give everybody their names and their places. So with 0 wins all 14 weeks, Scott, unfortunately, you are leaving with $0. With with $3.33 each, depending on how we decide to go with this, it's me and it's Gifford. Unfortunately, we were in a 3-way tie for 1 competition. We didn't get to win any other ones, but hey, at least we got $3, right? Next, with 1, all of these guys with 1. Tommy, Apple, Tatani, Paris, and Nate. 5 people all got $1 or 1 competition, and they get $10 from each of those. So congratulations to everybody that got that. At two competition wins, we had Chris, Brittany, and Eric. So even though you are out of the playoffs and you're getting a tattoo, Brittany, you get $20. So put that toward your tattoo. That's all a tattoo's worth, right? Chris and Eric, you guys both won 2 competitions and you're in the playoffs. So congratulations on that. Hopefully you get to win some more. Finally, the person with the most wins, technically, is Sammy and Zach. Now, they got 2.33. So how we're going to do that is 33 divided by 2 for each of you guys. So, or depending on however you want to do it. So congratulations on your 3 wins, but 2 and 3 monies. Congrats to everybody that won. Again, sorry, Scott, you did not. Moving on. The playoffs start this week, as I mentioned. And that means that I have to go through the power rankings. Now, we said last week I would have something exciting for you. I'll save that for the end. Okay, we'll get there. So, going through the power rankings of the top 6 teams in the league, I'm going to start at number 6. Now, I've been very clear on how I feel about this team all year. Eric, you are aptly named waddling into the playoffs. And, I mean, it's very close. I will admit that it's closer than I expected it to be. But now you have Jamar and Justin, both questionable. I don't know if they're going to play. Jerome Ford, also questionable. Justin Jefferson came back and disappointed. It wasn't very fun. Now Josh Dobbs is out. So you're really looking at the third string quarterback thrown to him. And Jamar Chase, also questionable now. Those ankles, I swear. Well, I'll talk about Tyreek later, but man, it's killer. Jared Goff is still all right. He gets Denver this week, pretty easy, or pretty middle of the road. James Cook though gets Dallas's defense. Now Dallas, that's a tough matchup for anybody. So good luck to you guys. Jalen Waddle in your flex. You got the hardest two teams right there in the New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I assume you're going to switch out your defense. New England is playing Kansas City. It's a little tough there. But yeah, at number 6, unfortunately, Eric, I have to give it to you. Waddling into the playoffs. At number 5. Now, this might be a little bit of a surprise, and it might not be, considering his name now. One and done. Pineapple himself. We got Chris. Now, this was tough because he has been rolling throughout the entire season. Yes, he took a couple lumps here and there, but at the moment, I thought that he was doing a lot better. He isn't. Rashee Rice is not who you want as your number 1. Cooper Kupp hasn't been really all that great lately. I will go ahead and just check real quick to make sure that I'm not speaking out of my ass. And I am. 23.5 points last week, so there you go. And then 12 the week before, but that stretch of 4, 5, 1, 3, you hope that he doesn't continue that. But he gets an easy matchup in Washington this week, so good luck to him. DeAndre Swift, he gets the Seahawks, so of course he's going to be scoring at least 20. Has been on kind of a down skid lately, but you know, that's to be expected. It's DeAndre Swift. Now, DK Metcalf, is he going to score 20 before he gets in a fist fight? That's to be seen. What I can say is Keenan Allen on Thursday night will be hobbled, and he will have a backup quarterback. So it's really up in the air. This is why you dropped all the way down to 5 for me, because you have so many injuries and just mediocre players, unfortunately. I mean, mediocre in the sense that they're not household names. Josh Jacobs, also questionable for Thursday night. And he's limited right now, but we'll see how that goes for you. So congratulations at number 5. And, I mean, luckily you get to play number 6, so that'll be fun for you. At number 4, who a lot of people might have thought would be at number 5, we have Sammy and Zach. Now, Tua, starting up there, starting at the top, you get the Jets. I mentioned it earlier, Jalen Waddle. They're one of the hardest defenses to play against, and, well, last week he lost against Tennessee in a fantastic game, might I say. It knocked me out of the Guillotine League. I don't know if you guys were watching that at all, to the, one person that's left in the Guillotine League. I was down to the last play. If Raheem Mostert got one more catch, I would have won. But not about me. I gotta remember we're not talking about me. Now, Tua didn't even score 10 last week. We'll see if he can fix it against a better defense. Stephon Diggs gets Dallas. I mentioned it already. Really good defense, so we'll see. Sam Laporta, though. Sam Laporta has been phenomenal. Incredible. Detroit, as a whole team, has been really good. Unfortunately, I believe they lost last week. Is that the week that they lost? Yeah. against against Chicago. I haven't been paying attention this week, on Sunday at least, because I was busy, but neither here nor there. Jacoby Myers he gets the Chargers, but up and down. We'll see. But overall, your team, there's a reason you made it this far. Now, do I think that you're going to win? I don't know, because we're not in the matchups yet. I'll get to that next. At number 3, we have the man who slid, Apple. You need to change your name at this point. It's irrelevant. It was a funny joke, ha ha ha. But now it's over. 2-12 tattoo, Apple wheel. All right. Kyler Murray and Mike Evans up at the top. Both have red matchups. Kyler Murray gets the 49ers. I haven't really paid attention once again, but it looks like Kyler has been kind of bad, honestly. But I couldn't put you any lower because of that Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara combination down there. Really, that is plenty to get you to the end. We just need to see it at this point. You just need to put it in action. I think that your team is good enough to win it all. All of these are technically, but here we are. At number 2, it's only right. You earned a bye. Nate, I'm putting you here. Now, would you be number 1 if Tyreek Hill had not injured himself and is day-to-day now? No, probably not, honestly. I'm just gonna say that. I like your team. You've done everything right. Jaylen Warren has, he's pretty much unseated Najee at this point, I believe. But TJ Hawkinson, great. Calvin Ridley, he slid a little bit, but he's shown that he can produce if you really give him the ball. But like I mentioned, Tyreek, is he going to be okay? Is he not? It's kind of tough. I didn't like that he was barely out there at the end of the game. We'll see how he progresses throughout the week. But you're number 2 because you have a bye right now. So it really doesn't matter if he's okay this week. Let him sit. I think that's okay. And then also you had Josh Allen, who went in there and won against the Chiefs. I want to know what you guys thought about the ending of that game, because that was a little tough to expect, or tough to accept, I assume, for Kansas City fans. Not that I am one. I couldn't care less. Number 1, you probably guessed, but it is Tatani. Congratulations. Thank you for being so graceful and gracious in your march to number 1. You are here now. Your name probably going to choke. A lot of humbleness coming out. Dak and CD. Man, what an unstoppable duo. It's really fun to watch them play football, but at the same time, it's not fun to lose against you. It's not fun for me to lose against anybody, so I'll just leave it at that, really. But yeah, I'm not a good loser, if you guys couldn't tell. Rachaad White killed it. Saquon Barkley, he got the win. Tommy DeVito got that win. That was impressive. 21 points against Green Bay for Saquon. Just everybody performing. Jahmyr Gibbs gets Denver. That is the number 1 or the easiest rushing defense, so should be good there. Brandon Ayuk, they all light it up every week, so it doesn't matter. And as I mentioned, Dak and CD. There's really nothing. There's no weaknesses on this team. You could, some people might say Trey McBride, but no, I wouldn't actually at all. If they say that, then they're wrong, because that's ridiculous. You do still have Dallas's defense. I don't know if you're going to ride them through, but you're on a bye this week against Buffalo, so it doesn't really matter. They do get Miami after that next week, and then Detroit. So maybe you consider switching them out, but it doesn't matter because they're just better than everybody. It doesn't really, it doesn't have any effect into your matchup. So with all of that said, I'm going to move into the matchups for the playoffs. All right. We're going to actually start with the consolation bracket because we got to give them some love. And starting out, we have Young Hoes and Mission Impossible. Both of you guys earned your buys as the 7th and 8th seeds. So you don't have to take a loss to any worse teams this week. Congratulations. Now me, I get Paris. And in this one, what are we going with? Achan scares me. Singletary, I mean, he likes to go off against me. As I said, anybody on San Francisco can go off. So Debo, yikes. Tyler Lockett, he hasn't been really exciting. That Seahawks game though, man, I don't know. David Njoku and Jake Ferguson have been the bane of my existence. Whenever I sit one, they go off for 30 points. So what's the point? At this point, I'm considering just... I finally understand where you were, Tatani, when you dropped all of your players that one year. I get it. It's tough. It is tough. But of course, as I always do, I am going to be picking me for that one. I just want to drop everybody. Up next, the Hub versus Brittany. Me at Apple's name, Apple Wheel. Now, the Hub just lost their franchise quarterback. So, who do they have on their bench? Let's check that out real quick. Nobody. He's going to be looking for a quarterback. Not that it really matters. Consolation, again. You know what? I'm going to say Brittany gets the win here. Because Scott's team is spiraling. And they don't have a quarterback. Brittany, you're getting your win. It won't... I don't think it'll matter about your tattoo. I don't know how you're going to do it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, probably going to choke and need more big hawks. You guys both got a bye. Congratulations. You both earned it. 1 and 2 in the power rankings. We're going to start with the higher match. 2 and 12 tattoo, Apple versus Sammy, Genius Team, and Zach 2. And in this one, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I think that Apple is going to take this. Really, the biggest factor for me are those running backs that I mentioned. Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara. If they are slowed down, then maybe Sammy and Zach have a team or have a chance to beat this team. But, I mean, I've been proven wrong all season. So, Sammy and Zach, you guys have just as good of a chance as really anybody. So, I won't discount you. I will pick Apple, though. In the next one, one and done versus waddling into the playoffs, Chris and Eric. I gotta go with Chris. It's a shame that his team has been beat up. It's also a shame that Eric's team has been beat up because those two wide receivers could rival Apple's running backs. Unfortunately, they can't now, and they both have backup quarterbacks. It's been a rough year for quarterbacks. I hope that next year we can get it back into gear, as they say. So yeah, I'm going to be taking Chris there. Congratulations to Chris. And that does it for matchups, power rankings. It's going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but there's one more thing that I want to bring up. I have talked a lot this season about how my team was going to turn it around. I did the same thing last year. I had top 5 in points, both last year and top 6, I think, in points this year. Not that it matters. It's all the same. It's all just cope. I've been coping a lot. And I think it's time for me to take that punishment. And by that I mean, obviously I'm getting the tattoo with Brittany this year. It won't be the same tattoo. It'll be something intermixed, but it's still a tattoo because we had somebody lose. On top of that, though, I will be doing everybody's punishment that they chose at the beginning of the year, besides the other tattoos, obviously. So that gets rid of, Tatani, Scott, and Nathan Paris as well. So those tattoos will not be on my body. Unfortunately, it's only the one that Brittany and I are getting. So, starting at the top, Tatani, you chose a tattoo. Not doing it. Next up, Nate, also a tattoo. Apple. Your punishment was a soaked draft. Unfortunately, that means that I will be getting doused by the hose before the next draft. Maybe we'll have it outdoors again. Do you guys remember when we did an outdoor draft? that was fun. I nearly blacked out, but not this year. Not next year, at least. So, anyway, Chris, yours was buys drinks for next year's draft. Congratulations, everybody. I'm bringing probably a couple 6-packs or maybe a 12-pack. I don't know. But I'm buying drinks for everybody. So, you're welcome. Next up, Eric. Now, yours, here's where we start to get into the similar ones. Oh, excuse me, Sammy and Zach. You guys are before that. Coordinated bar dance? I don't know if there's a worse punishment that I could be doing. This is my nightmare. I do not want to do this one. If anybody would like to get in on this, maybe Gifford, you were supposed to be my co-host, and you're not here. Maybe you'll join me in that bar dance. We'll see. How about that? Or anybody else, if you would like to join me in the bar dance, let me know, and we'll get to choreography. Up next, Eric. Let's see. Yours was a milk mile. So we will be discussing how we want to do this, but I assume it's a normal glass of milk every lap for 4 laps, 1 mile. And we'll see how it goes. It won't be on the same day as these other ones because, there's a lot of drinking involved, unfortunately. Tommy, yours was 3 bottles of soju. So if you could get your hands on those and bring them over to me, I guess we'll have a little, we'll have a fun time. Now, 3 bottles of soju you can do over an amount of time, but I feel like as a punishment, I have to do that within, let's say 10 minutes. How about that? 3 bottles of soju, 10 minutes. I'm imagining they're like this big, right? I don't know. So we'll see. We might have to adjust that 10 minutes. Up next, let's see. Gifford, yours was a beer mile. Now, once again, I am adjusting this. I am not a huge beer drinker, so I will be finding probably a seltzer, which is probably going to be worse because it shakes up and everything, all the carbonation. So, yeah, not looking forward to that one either. A lot of miles. Yeah. Next up, we're going to go over to mine because Scott's was a tattoo. I should mention that. Let's see. Mine was a chocolate milk 5K. So in that one, I'm running just over 3 miles. And, we'll talk about the specifics of how much chocolate milk. But it will be Nesquik powder because I don't mess with the syrup or the gallons. It's just not my thing. So, yeah. Oh boy. Chocolate milk 5K. Why would I choose that? Up next, let's see. We have... Oh, Paris is done, tattoo, and then Brittany. So yeah, that's everybody's. I will be doing everybody's punishment for this year. I'm sorry for talking so much, and I'm sorry for letting all of my fans down and letting the haters win. I will not be bringing home the championship trophy this year. See you next week.